Today, we'll examine a shocking crime that has shaken France and raised concerns about the rise of violent gangs. On a sunny morning in May 2024, a routine prisoner transfer turned into a bloodbath when an armed commando unit ambushed a prison convoy at a Normandy Tollbooth. The hooded gunmen launched a military-style attack, killing 2 guards in cold blood. Their target was Mohamed Amra, a young criminal with suspected ties to powerful drug trafficking rings. The assailants freed Amra amid a hail of gunfire before making their daring escape. This ruthless ambush left the nation in shock. How could such a coordinated assault happen in broad daylight? Were the gunmen part of an organized crime syndicate inspired by Mexico's drug wars? As a massive manhunt began for Amra and his rescuers, politicians expressed fears that France was sliding towards lawlessness and Mexicanization due to emboldened gangs. In this in-depth look at the Incarville Tollbooth attack, we'll explore the dramatic events of that day and examine the dark underworld where the notorious Amra operates. Mohamed Amra was born on March 10, 1994, in Rouen, the capital of the Normandy region. He was recognized by several alternative names like Momo, Lamouche, the Fly, Yanis, and Strumpf, the French word for Smurf. He was raised in the Sandpit Council estate of the city. Amra was raised in a difficult environment, which led him to become involved in criminal activities. Prosecutors stated that his initial offenses, which included violence, theft, and extortion, took place between the ages of 11 and 14. At the age of 15, in October 2009, Amra received his first criminal conviction. Since then, he has accumulated 13 convictions for robbery, extortion, criminal conspiracy, armed violence, and other offenses. On April 14, 2020, he was sentenced to 3 months in prison by the Évreux Correctional Court for illegal motorized rodeos. In January 2022, he was imprisoned in Évreux prison to serve multiple sentences for his other convictions. Police and prosecutors have suspected Amra of leading a narcotics network and having substantial connections to organized crime groups in Marseille. However, none of his convictions are related to drugs. His convictions also included a charge of attempted murder, and later in 2022, he was even charged with involvement in a gang-related kidnapping in Marseille that led to death. Amra has been characterized by Reuters as a mid-level figure in the French drug trade, while French media have associated him with the powerful Marseille-based crime syndicate, the Blacks. The French news agency Le Monde has described him as being in the middle tier of the gangster hierarchy. According to the police, Amra has been involved in the international drug trade. However, his lawyer, Hugues Vivier, has contested these allegations. On May 7, 2024, Amra was imprisoned at the Val de Reuil prison following a conviction for burglary, resulting in an 18-month prison term. The burglaries, which took place in 2019, involved Amra forcibly entering supermarkets and restaurants and absconding with approximately 200 bottles of alcoholic beverages and around 7,500 euros in cash. He is also suspected of utilizing Signal, a secure messaging application, to coordinate kidnappings and extortions via his cell. He needed extra security during transfers, even though he wasn't seen as a high-risk prisoner. At first, 3 guards escorted him, but later this was increased to 5. Amra had tried to break out of prison at the Évreux Remand Center by cutting through the bars of his cell and covering it with tape. However, guards caught him, and he was put in solitary confinement. On Tuesday, May 14, 2024, Amra was being transferred to Évreux prison after a court hearing in Rouen. At 10:57 a.m., the convoy was attacked at the Incarville Tollbooth on the A154 freeway, about 30 kilometers southeast of Rouen. Security camera footage depicted a stolen black Peugeot 5008 crashing head-on into a white prison van as it crossed the Tollbooth. Another prison vehicle following the van got stuck. Following the collision, 2 armed men stepped out of the Peugeot, while 2 other armed men came out of a white Audi A5 that had been trailing the convoy. The men, wearing balaclavas and dressed in black athletic clothing, started shooting at the convoy with automatic rifles. Between 30 and 40 shots were shot at the prison officers. The prison officers had Sig Sauer handguns for protection. The attack lasted for at least 2 minutes before the shooters ran away with Amra in an Audi and a BMW 5 Series car. Later, these vehicles were set on fire at different places. 2 prison officers died in the shooting. 3 more were badly hurt, and one of them is in very critical condition. During the incident, one of the gang members, who were all dressed in black sports clothing with their hoods up, ensured that a victim was dead by firing a double tap shot to the head. It was a commando operation, violent and precisely executed, aiming to free Amra. This was the first time French prison officers had been killed while working since 1992. One of the officers who died was called a captain in the prison service by Paris prosecutor Laure Becquot. The lawyer of Mohamed Amra, Hugues Vigier, expressed shock about the jailbreak in an interview with BFM TV, describing Amra as perfectly normal. He hoped that Amra didn't plan the escape, as it contradicted his understanding of him. Right-wing politicians commented that the incident highlighted the government's inability to control drug-related crime and drew comparisons between France and other countries plagued by widespread gang violence. Center-right opposition leader Bruno Retailleau remarked, "We're on a path to Mexicanization, suggesting a deteriorating situation similar to that of Mexico." Far-right figure Marion Maréchal extended condolences to the officers and remarked that the ambush made France appear as if it were a third-world country. Over 450 police officers and gendarmes were sent to Eure to search for Amra and the gunmen who helped him escape. Roadblocks were established in northwestern France as part of the search effort. On Wednesday morning, the names of the 2 prison guards who were killed were revealed. Authorities identified the 2 slain prison guards as Fabrice Moello, a father of 2, aged 52, and Arnaud Garcia, 35. Additionally, it was revealed that Mr. Garcia's wife was 5 months pregnant. French Justice Minister Éric Dupond-Moretti remarked that the 2 men, both hailing from Cayenne, were slaughtered like dogs by men who value life very little. Amra's mother, who admitted to having little communication with her son, expressed deep sorrow when she learned about the attack. She tearfully asked, "How can lives be taken away like this?" in an interview. Interior Minister Gérald Darmanin stated that significant progress had been made in the manhunt and expressed optimism about capturing the fugitive in the next few days. Gendarme General Jacques Morel expressed concerns that Amra might try to cross the border into the Maghreb or Spain. On the 3rd day of the search, Darmanin announced that more than 350 investigators had been deployed to assist in the operation. French Prime Minister Gabriel Attal pledged to locate and prosecute the gang, declaring they will pay for what they have done. President Emmanuel Macron conveyed on X, formerly Twitter, that we will be uncompromising. Darmanin emphasized that unprecedented measures were being implemented to apprehend the gang. Interpol released a red notice asking international police to locate and apprehend Amra. However, they clarified that this wasn't an international arrest warrant. And there you have it, the shocking details behind the audacious Incarville Tollbooth ambush that left 2 French prison guards dead and raised fears of escalating gang violence in France. This wasn't an ordinary jailbreak. The attack's military precision, lethal firepower, and coordinated escape point to a professional criminal operation, possibly linked to powerful drug trafficking syndicates. The key question remains, was Mohamed Amra just a small-time criminal who got incredibly lucky, or is he connected to high-level organized crime in cities like Marseille? Authorities are still searching for answers and hoping to uncover the full scope of this conspiracy. The deaths of prison officers Fabrice Moello and Arnaud Garcia highlight the growing dangers law enforcement faces. Their sacrifice calls for serious discussions on how to better combat organized crime and prevent further violence. What do you think? Was this the work of a major crime syndicate or a well-executed one-off incident? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more true crime stories. Thanks for watching, and remember to stay safe out there.